Project management concepts may seem tough at times, but not to worry. You have a coach who makes it as easy as ABC. Here he is to set things straight for you. Your friend, Phil.
So the question is, what is the people domain all about on the PMP exam? The people domain, it's all about people. And the first chapter that you need to really master in the PMBOK guide, the Project Management Body of Knowledge Guide, is chapter 9. It's about resources. And in resources, our interest is not about the physical resources alone. It's about the human resources, people. So we're very keen on knowing how to plan our leadership and our management of resources, especially human resources. We're also keen on understanding how to estimate the team members we need, how to acquire the team members, and very importantly, how to develop them and how to essentially lead them through the process known as managed team. We're also very keen on understanding chapter 13, which is all about stakeholders. So let's put down a few notes to expand on this question. What is the people domain all about? Extremely important, my friends, is to understand chapter 9 in the PMBOK guide, which is all about the resources, as I have just mentioned. Also, you want to understand chapter 13, which is another people chapter, which is about stakeholders. How do you engage the stakeholders? How do you, even in the very beginning, identify them and things such as that? How do you keep them engaged? And how do you adjust to ensure that they are as engaged as possible if they are falling off the wagon? Things like that. Another very important chapter to consider is chapter 10, which is all about communications. This is about how people interact, how they communicate, and how you as the project manager is responsible on a predictive project for this, or on an agile project. If you are a project manager in a hybrid setting, how do you imbibe some of the principles of agile to ensure that the team is communicating to their optimum? Imbibing things such as osmotic communication, the fishbowl concept, information radiators, and things like that. So these are the main three, the core three that are very people-centered. But don't forget, people could come into the discussion of any knowledge area, including risk. In fact, in the area of risk, we need to be on our people game, because bringing people in to identify risks and having them be comfortable takes an extraordinary amount of interpersonal and team skills to do that, to help people put down their guards, to encourage them to do so, and to help the team reach consensus. You also need these skills even when you're developing the project charter and trying to get buy-in from stakeholders. So this is very far-reaching. All right, so we're going to just put this here as a little note for you. Chapter 9, chapter 10, chapter 13. Now, going into the intricacies of the people domain, task 1, you need to know how to manage conflict, know the 5 conflict resolution styles talked about by the PMI. Next, understand what it means to lead a team, understand servant leadership, understand all the different flavors of leadership talked about in the PMBOK guide, and understand the Hersey-Blanchard model for leadership, situational leadership model. Task 3, support team performance. And the way the PMI tell you that you can do this is by appraising team member performance against KPIs and really helping to ensure that the team is improving in some way. They are developing, they're getting better. I would say understand the 5 stages of team development. For that, we call that the Tuckman's ladder. Task 4, empower team members and stakeholders. How do you empower team members? By giving them autonomy. If you're in the world of agile, which you will be tested on the exam, you got to make sure that your team has autonomy. They have the power, they have the ability to not only self-manage, but also to self-lead, self-correct, things like that. Chapter 5, or task 5, ensure team members and stakeholders are adequately trained. This has to do with training, which is one of the tools and techniques of the developed team process. Task 6, build a team. The PMI here mentioned appraising stakeholder skills and continuously assessing and refreshing those skills. That's what your exam is going to be about. You can expect to have situational questions that build on this. Number 7, address and remove impediments, obstacles, and blockers for the team. That is one thing you should be doing as a Scrum Master in an agile setting. Task 8, negotiate project agreements. And that is all about being able to work with people in such a way that you're looking for a win from your perspective and from their perspective, a win-win. Task 9, collaborate with stakeholders. And we collaborate with stakeholders in the world of Agile daily and continuously. Just remember that. Task 10 is build a shared understanding, break down situations to understand causes of misunderstanding. Task 11, engage and support virtual teams. In the crazy pandemic, lots of companies have started working virtually, so you can definitely expect questions on virtualization on the exam. Understand it is a tool and technique used in the resource management knowledge area as well, not only in developing the team, but also in acquiring team members. Task 12, define team ground rules. Ground rules exist in the team charter. We also refer to this as team contract, social contract. Be aware of things like that. Number 13, mentor relevant stakeholders. Mentoring is very evident. It's when you are pretty much telling, teaching, or instructing on a one-to-one close proximity basis. Different from coaching, which is when you bring out the answer from the client. There's a difference between telling and teaching versus coaching, which is bringing out that nugget, that answer that lies within the individual being coached. And the final one here is promote team performance through the application of EI, emotional intelligence, being able to bridle your emotions and being able to influence the emotions of others for a win-win on the project. And that, my friends, is pretty much what you can expect on the PMP exam. The PMP exam has 180 questions to be answered within 3 hours and 50 minutes, but it's absolutely doable when you know great information like this and you're well prepared. You take care and all the best on your exam.